Welcome to the Gamescape, everybody. My name is Jarek, and today we're back in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is episode 6 of our playthrough. And in our previous episode, we made our way out of the basement and we found the ward stone that had been lawn darted into the ground upside down. And we also met a blind demoness who was trying to corrupt it. And we found out that this very demoness was also one who managed to seduce and corrupt our little dwarf friend Staunton over here, and that he was basically responsible for giving up Dresden, which was the main citadel inside the world wound. And so he's now trying to do his penance by fighting alongside the rest of the rebels here. And so we made our way through there. We got into a fight with the demoness and she whooped us good. And that was a fight that was not supposed to be won. Obviously, she was very, very powerful and there was no real way to win that fight. It was just mostly a transition into the next stage of the game, which is where we're at now. We are in the tavern, which is the current headquarters of the Eagle Watch. And we have some things that we know about. So first of all, we've gotten a location on the tower the cultists are hiding in, and Irabeth would like us to go scout that out. We also found out from our dwarf friend here, Staunton, that the seer is in, or the storyteller, who is a blind elf that we think might be able to help us out, is possibly in the Blackwing, which is a library that is somewhere here in the city. So we'll have to take a look at that. And we also found out that we have the location of Anevia and Irabeth's home. Irabeth said that they have a stash of items and weapons in the kitchen, and if we can get to it and find it, we are welcome to have it because we're going to need it for the missions that we got coming up. We did chat with Camilla briefly and not too much came of that, and so we've got other named people in here that we need to chat with, so we're going to go ahead and get started on that. We're going to start with Horgus Gorm here, see how he's doing now that he's out of the pits underneath the city there. Here, take this. Yes, it's 2,000 coins. Take your payment and remember that Horgus Gorm always keeps his word. You helped me get back to the surface and I duly paid you for escorting me. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. Well, wait a minute. What do you mean a job for someone like me? Well, for an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter. Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps, noble of heart, but without coin to your name. Horgus sizes you up critically and then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me. And you did get me out of those mongrel capes, so why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it? Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes him something. However, you hear notes of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It's as though he's really quite nervous, but taking great pains to conceal it. All right. Well, what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have... Well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Adabar knows what's happened there since. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they have no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors. That's what they are. Also, please do take Camellia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She's of noble birth, after all. All right, fine. What kind of reward are we talking about here? 1,000 gold coins, Horgus replies without hesitation. Yeah, no, double that and we'll think about it. Ha! Yeah, right. For that kind of money, I could hire the Queen Galfrey herself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. All right, fine. We'll take it. Marvelous. Most excellent. Horgus's face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand, but do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. All right, so now we have the mansion on the map. Okay, so that's him. This guy has something that we want to buy. He has a bag of holding, and it's not a big one, but it is going to give us an extra 100 pounds of carry weight, which I believe we want. So 2,500 for that. We'll take that. Just a quick look here. Is there anything else we really want? Ooh, invisibility potion might be something. Let's see. Touched creature becomes invisible. If a check is required, an invisible creature has a plus 20 bonus on stealth check. Spell ends if the subject attacks any creature. It's a little expensive. 300, but might come in handy. You know what? Why don't we grab one just in case? Oh, no, I don't want 4. Just 1. All right. Did it go to the bottom here? Yeah, it sure did. There we go. Take one of those. We better have a potion of mage armor for land just in case he doesn't have any armor proficiencies. We have protection from evil, protection from chaos. We got both of those. Blur was okay. It wasn't that great. 20% chance to miss it's okay. Bark skin gives what? +2 enhancement bonus, the creature's existing natural armor bonus. +2 displacement. This is an expensive one. Subject to the spell appears to be about 2 feet away from its true location. Creature benefits from 50% mischance if it has, as if it had total concealment. That's actually not bad. How long does that last? 1 round. 1 round per level, so maybe 3 rounds actually. I mean, it's not the worst. It doesn't very long, but you know, if we're up against something really nasty, wouldn't hurt maybe. So we'll take those potions, and I think that's probably going to be enough. We're already paying quite a bit here. Let's see, composite bow. We have a masterwork longbow. I don't see us using this when we have composite bows. We can sell that for a little bit. I want to keep the hammer. I want to keep the sword. Definitely want those. Yes, yes, yes. All right, I think we'll do that. 3,500. That's half our money, a little over. I think we'll do that. That works. But that bag of holding will make it so we can carry more, which is good. And the potions are just in case we run into something big and nasty, which we will eventually, I'm certain. All right, what do we got? We have over here. I don't see any named people. Oh, yeah, I do. Born Autumn Haze. Let's have a little chat with this person. Who's this? Born Autumn Haze, a tall, fragile-looking elf sits in front of you, eyes closed. He is pale as a ghost, his arm wrapped in a blood-stained bandage. You spot other bandages on his body under his clothes, but even in such a miserable state, he manages to keep calm. Raising his eyes to meet yours, he says faintly, "I am Forn Autumn Haze, at your service." His pale lips are reddened by blood, but you see no sign of pain or fear in his gray eyes. Do you need help? After giving you a cold, intense look, he shakes his head. Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. A local healer tended to me. Besides, I come from a resilient, hardy people. My body will endure both wounds and the poison delivered through them. Who wounded you? A sinner and accomplice to demons. The quarry I'm hunting in this inhospitable place. All right, well, you know what? I am Valric, and you can totally trust me, even though we just met. I might be able to help you. After a brief pause, he says, "It would be impolite to refuse such a direct and friendly offer. So who is your quarry?" "I was hunting a fugitive, a Descarite by the name of Kalissa. It pains me to admit that there are heinous malefactors such as her amongst my noble kind. I managed to catch up with her in Canabras, and I wounded her. Then demons appeared, and the city was engulfed in flames. I was injured in the battle that ensued, and I couldn't free her soul from its service to her dark masters." He expresses no anger or hatred as he speaks, only compassionate sorrow. Well, I'm sorry. I hope things can turn out different. He purses his lips. There's no need for pity. Our ancient kind is blessed with great longevity. We gain a deeper understanding of the world than other races, and we learn our lessons better than anyone. That goes for learning from our mistakes as well. I survived, which means I'll be more prepared when we next meet. All right, well, is there anything I can do to help? Foreign covers his eyes wearily. I thank you, but this is my mission, and I'm used to facing all matter of terrors on my own. I do appreciate your willingness to help. If you happen to meet Kilissa, take caution. She's turned many innocent souls to the path of evil, and darkness has rewarded her with many gifts. Her appearance alone will tell you that it is warped. The agate skin, the malicious stare of her blood-red eyes, the bestial grin. There's more monster than elf at this point. So wait a minute. Can you say that again? Dark skin, her hair is preternaturally white. Her red eyes can see perfectly in the dark, which, to my dismay, I've come to know from experience. But bright light causes her pain. I used an alchemical powder that explodes in a dazzling flash. She cried out as if I had stabbed her. Okay, so that's actually good to know, even though we failed our roll. All right, well, I'm going to go. Good fortune to you. All right, let's go downstairs. See what's in the basement of this place. All right, well, we got loot. And we've got some guards. And we have a couple of named guys. Woljif and Devlin. This guy is in a prison cell. You know what? I don't need the shield. Don't really need those things either. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. Iomade, protect us. Ah, got you again. How many times is that today? Take your jokes and shove them, tiefling. Whoa, easy there, Chief. Don't hit me. All right. Well, what's going on here? Go ahead. Don't take too long, though, he says. Fine. You, what's your story?
Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
The young tiefling sits cross-legged on the floor. He looks relatively calm for someone in shackles, but his tail whisks back and forth in agitation. Noticing your attention, the tiefling sits up and beckons you over.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out.
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
All right. Yeah, what do you want?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives, too. And even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Knives and magic.
What a load of guff. If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
It's a good point.
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Right. Why exactly are you in here?
Does it really matter?
Kinda.
Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
Yeah, that seems very unwise to me.
He was caught thieving.
Aha. Truth comes out. All right. Well, I can't help you in here. How can I get you out?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty-looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy, Woljif, locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart.
Okay.
Well, for the follies of his youth.
Uh-huh.
And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior
Right.
and make a contribution to society.
Sure.
You got that?
Oh, yeah.
Will you do it?
We'll think about it.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
All right. See ya. Take that. Take that. Eh. Eh. What's this? Old map of Aveston. Just a collector's item. Slimy skin. Lots of crafting stuff. Take all that. Got some levers here that we don't have any idea what they do. That takes us outside, which we don't probably want just yet. All right, well, I'm not going to mess with the levers till I know what they do, so would hate to, you know, bring down the entire tavern. Although, you know, if they did that, I should think they would be guarded, but, you know, you never know. Might be an oversight. All right, moving on. Nenevia's here. Nenevia in her muted colors blends almost perfectly into the background. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drums her fingers on her hip near her weapon sheath. She shows no sign of her injuries and confidently leans on her previously broken leg. She pretends to have just noticed you, even though she watched you approach from afar. Oh, hey, see how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump, and dance a jig if I feel like it. Yeah, so what's your story here? And she shrugs with a lazy smile. I'd be happy to tell you, but there's kind of nothing to tell. So what's so interesting about me? Well, where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found in a cabbage patch. She stopped short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like blabbing about my past, but you saved my skin, so I guess I kind of owe it to you. Not to clown around, right? I'm from Nidal, and I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure, ruled by monsters that aren't even alive or dead, and the official religion is the cult of Zon Kuthan. I grew up in a slum, like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles, my mom's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us. Creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards in Nishrok. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in the secret temple of Desna. I never saw my mom again. I lay low in the temple for the next few years, kept my head down, washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while I started liking Desna's teachings, but as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nidal and got as far away as I could. How did you meet Irabeth? Do I care? I don't know if I care. Sure, why not? I was bumming around Timon a while back, doing this and that. Desna Temple sometimes gave me odd jobs. You know, sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nidal, the freedom of the River Kingdoms should have seemed like heaven. My chance to sit back and enjoy life, but I wasn't happy. There just wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone. No one cared about me, and I didn't care about anybody either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Tying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river started looking pretty appealing. One day, I was hired to follow some fellows who the local authorities suspected were Razmiran spies. I was stupid. I made a rookie mistake and they caught me. It's like my body had already decided to do what my mind had been fighting, to finally put me out of my misery. Get someone else to kill me since I didn't have the guts to do it myself. They grabbed me. I thought they'd gut me on the spot, but instead they hogtied me and dragged me off. And just like an animal going to the slaughter, my only thought was, let's get this over with. Wow, this is super depressing, Anevia. Seriously. They brought me to their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and I realized who it was. Kuthites from Nidal. They tracked me down after all those years. But I didn't care anymore. Wouldn't even have cared if they'd eaten me or whatever. We all got to go sometime, right? So I was lying there, staring at those knives pointed at me, when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Irabeth. There she was, storming into the cave. Picture it. I'm lying on an altar with all these knife-wielding maniacs around me, and suddenly Irabeth storms in. I thought it was Iomade herself, fierce in her shining armor, with her gleaming sword raised. She made quick work of those scumbags, chopped them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then, Inevia's face lights up as she chuckles. She looked through the papers they had on the table, and she started swearing like a sailor. So much for Ioma Day. All right, well then how'd you end up here in Canabras? Well, after almost becoming a human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Erebeth's side. Desna knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and when Erebeth showed me what it was in those papers, proof that the cultists had a nest in her home city, well, I offered to help without a second thought. Anevia smiles warmly. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the cultists, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of the dragon. But I took to life in Canabras like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half of the crusaders are the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You got to be either a goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit with no life out in the normal world with normal people. People come here to run away from their debts, their past, from themselves, so I fit right in. All right, well, thanks for the answers. Super depressed now. Hey, thanks for asking. Telling you all this kind of made me feel better. Well, at least it did for one of us. Anything in the city that I should be paying attention to? There were a couple of spots I wanted to check out, but I didn't have time. If there really is a den of cultists there, it would be good if you could swoop in there and bust some heads. You don't even need a search warrant. And Evia shoots you a crooked smile. First one is the Silken Thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabric, but they always seem oh so busy. They're busy with something in there, all right, but sewing it ain't. Second one is an alchemy shop, Topaz Solutions, and they trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about alchemical rituals going down in that place. All right, well, keep those in mind, thanks. All right, you watch yourself now, she says. Okay, so that is just dandy. All right, we had somebody over here. Yeah, let's go talk to this guy real quick. A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Oh, yeah, show me scrolls you're selling. Yes, please. All right, what do we got? We have a whole bunch of scrolls. Your image may not be terrible. Not too expensive. Problem is the guys who would need it probably can't use it. All right, well, he's got ingredients here too. Lesser extended mana magic rod. That's 3,000. Amulet of natural armor. Got another one of those. Ring of protection +1, which I think is what we have. I'll have to check that. Bracers of the wizard. Armor bonus of +2, just as though we were wearing armor, and +3 competence on all knowledge arcana checks. Yeah, they're expensive. Might be worth thinking about. Next time we come back and we have some more gold. Oh, lots of stuff here. Nothing I'm seeing that's super jumping out at me. I'm sure I'm passing by a bunch of stuff. I'm being pretty quick here. Oh, Icy Protector Ring. Grants the wearer resistance 10, cold resistance 10. The wearer has Ice Plant Hex. It also grants him +2 natural bonus to AC. Guardian of Life. Amulet. As long as the wearer of this amulet is under the effect of the Death Ward spell, they get +2 morale bonus to AC against attacks of undead creatures. If they use any single target cure wounds spells on a target whose number of hit points is 0 or less, the target is healed for an additional number of hit points equal to their number of hit dice. Okay. That's very edge case, it seems. Chaos Hammer, lots more scrolls. Alchemist kits. Allows you to create potions of spells up to 3rd level. That actually isn't probably the worst. Scroll Scriber's kits might not be the worst thing either. I don't know if we have anybody who can scroll spells right now, although Woljif in the basement there said he had magic, so that might be something. We're going to keep these in mind. We're not going to buy him right now because, well, we don't have enough money anyway. So, well, we could get this one, I suppose, the second level one. Yeah, we'll keep those in mind. This is all just materials, looks like. All right. And lots more scrolls, which, all right, good enough. Keep in mind, he's got some stuff. I might check back here offline and see about doing something else. Pink Eye and Indara. An imposing young Oread is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Jiska legionnaires from the last war and the crusaders. The perfection of form and the spirit they were imbued with during the creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine, not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now, tell me again why I'm supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults, where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers with a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? Some crusaders grumble unhappily, but it's clear they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly and disheveled halfling monk whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor little fellow pause to catch his breath. Oh yeah, looks like somebody knows something about warfare here. The woman gives you a suspicious look and raised eyebrow. Were your words meant to recognize my achievements or to start a fight the way the Mendevian crusaders usually do? One of the crusaders angrily curls his fist tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of yours, or whatever, had come for us, we'd had their guts for garters. We think we never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot tall walking castle shaped like a giant elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know these fortifications are defended by Jiskin priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her clothes with pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on the lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The woman looks at you and flashes an amused smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Yeah, nah, I don't care. It's not like bickering in a dirty tavern was the height of my aspirations, she says. Fine. Pink Eye, what's your story? I don't have one. Excellent. Here's Sela. We need to ask her about her friend. Sela smiles at you warmly. Hey there. During that march through the dungeon, we never got the chance to exchange a proper greeting. It's high time I shake your hand. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Erebeth mentioned your friend is missing. Do you know where we could look for her? Erebeth's worried about her fighters. I understand that. I wanted to look for Jana myself, so I didn't distract you, but since you're in this too, I could use some help. Jana and I met in Canabras a few days ago and just hit it off. We went drinking together. We went to that unforgettable celebration together too, but we got separated in the crowd, so we should start looking from the main square. That's where I last saw her. She frowns. Jana's a good fighter, even if she is green. She couldn't have become an Aldori otherwise. I hope that means she's all right. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out for her. Okay. Let's see. Hilor here. We got another. A tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and shorn close to his head in a military style. He is lean and well-groomed, with a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bold set of his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that there is a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I am Hilor, venture captain of the Pathfinder Society. I am the superior officer among Pathfinders in this region of Mendev. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only snuck in here because the old feud with the demon worshipper known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone without the support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I care about the Spinner of Nightmares just yet. Sounds like more than I can deal with. I need brave, experienced fighters. My companions, I need good training. How much are fighters? You can rely on my lads, but you'll have to pay them. 4,500 is their standard rate. All right, well, can't do that right now. I'm sorry, but the Society has established universal rates to avoid competition between Pathfinders of different countries. That's fine. What about training? I will get a great mentor from Absalom for the first few times. He'll train your fighters free of charge. Okay. I don't want to do that just yet. Although I have been thinking about Camellia and what I've done with her so far. And I'm thinking that the hex that I chose for her maybe wasn't exactly the best choice. I was looking through some of the hexes and there are some better ones than the one I picked. So I might retrain her and have her pick that other hex. You know what? Why don't we do that actually? So we're going to do this. She's going to be Spirit Hunter still. That's fine. We're going to focus her on perception and trickery, I think. Okay, and then she gets her hex, which I was looking at. It wasn't this one, I don't think. No, that's not it. Protective luck, maybe it was. Shaman can cause fate to twist so that it benefits the creature within 30 feet for 1 round. Whenever that creature is targeted by an attack that requires an attack roll, including weapons attacks, the attacker must roll twice and take the worst result. At 8th level and 16th level, the duration of this hex is extended by 1 round. Shaman cannot use this ability on herself. Hexes that affect the fortune hex, such as Cackle, also affect protective luck. That one I think is probably our best choice. Having the bad guys have to take 2 swings at our frontline fighter, one of them anyway, is pretty good. So I think we're going to take that one instead of the one that just increases armor class. The nice thing about this one is it doesn't have a maximum number of times that it can be used every round. It's just 1 round, and it's just that's her action, but it protects the fighter. So and she can just keep casting it and keep casting it. So that's nice. At least it doesn't say anything about having a maximum number. So we're going to do that. And so she's got that now. Okay. And then we get her up to level 3. We're going to stay with Spirit Hunter. And she's going to take Trickery and Perception again. And then I think she gets a feat here. She does. And so with her, we could go weapon focus with her rapier, or we can actually start looking at some of the coordinated stuff. Let's see. This one gives +2 competence bonus to maneuver checks, increases +4 attempt to break free from a grapple. There was one that I remember, and I think it was down here further maybe, was Shake It Off, I think is what it was. When you're adjacent to one or more allies who also have this feat, you gain a +1 bonus on saving throws per such ally, maximum of +4. So I think with that, we're going to want to get everybody taking this. Let's just do the Shake It Off. It's not going to help her just this instant, but it will once the others get that same thing. Okay. All right. That should do. I think I'm happier with that than what she was already. So that's fine. All right. Here, Beth, what you got? Earbeth rubs her red and tired eyes. Any success? How is the city? Well, I don't know. Haven't been outside yet, but there's this tiefling chained up in the defender's heart. What can you tell me about him? Earbeth shrugs scornfully. Woljif is a petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them, and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the defender's heart, but this is hardly a prison. Woljif knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? Earbeth squints at you thoughtfully, then shrugs. If you want to recruit Woljif and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guard's hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful, but should you proves useful, should you decide to take him along. All right, fine. All right, let me get at. All right, may Iomade keep you safe. All right, so there we go. Now we can go pick him up. And then I think what we're going to do is head outside and start working some of these missions that we are picking up here. So lots to do. And we're already about 40 minutes into this. So been spending a lot of time talking here. But you got to do some of that sometimes. All right, let's do this, Woljif.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
Yeah, you're coming with me.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
Yeah, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but she just wanted to be rid of you.
You're sure to regret this.
Uh-huh.
This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
Haha, joke's on you. I don't have anything.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can you? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the defender's heart, a little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following? Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No. Something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go. I'll show you the way.
All right, we have the tieflings hideout now. All right, let's get out of here. I think we can just leave out the basement door here. No need to go back upstairs, I don't think. Oh, okay. Nice. So here's the main tavern door over here. All right, let's get out of here. Not interested in any of that. Okay, yes, bring everybody. All right, here we are. We have level ups that we're going to take care of real quick. Okay, so here's the thing. I could go one more level of fighter here. And I could also get the +1 saving throw feat. Or the other thing I was thinking about was an alchemist with the vivisectionist, which gives us access to a sneak attack, which is actually pretty good, I think. Character can catch an opponent when he is unable to defend himself effectively from attacks. She can strike a vital spot for extra damage. Character's attack deals extra damage anytime her target would be denied a dexterity bonus to AC, or when it flanks her target. So flanking is just anytime you have two people engaging the same guy. This extra damage is 1d6, increases by a d6 at later levels. Additional damage, precision damage, is not multiplied on a critical hit. Character must be able to see the target to pick out a vital spot to reach. But the other thing that gives us is Mutagen. And so these actually give you the ability to increase your physical attributes at the cost of one of your mental attributes. So this would give us a +4 to strength at a -2 penalty to intelligence. So, you know, steroids, basically. Valric has found the wonderful world of steroids. And this is, I think, per day. I think you can brew one of these every day. Something like that. Upon imbibe, the mutagen cause the alchemist to grow bulkier and more bestial, granting him +2 natural bonus to armor class, which is nice. +4 alchemical bonus to selected ability score for 10 minutes per alchemist level. 10 minutes is a long time in combat. In addition, while the mutagen is in effect, the alchemist takes -2 penalty when his mental ability scores. In strength goes to intelligence and so on. That's really nice. And also gives us the ability to brew potions, although I don't think we'd ever be great at it. Might be able to do something with it still. So that might be worth taking, I think. But if we do that, we're not going to get the feat at this level, but we will at the next level, at which point we can take that same feat that we just gave to Camellia, and we can start getting +1s each for our saving throws. And then at 5, we'll bring the others in with that same feat as well. So everybody's getting plus more based on who's around who. You know, I think we're going to take this. I think this is a good idea. Okay. And then we are going to focus on, we're already doing athletics. Pretty important. Perception is probably pretty important too, although we've also got Camellia focusing on that. But Camellia is not necessarily always going to be around, and the ability to spot things is always great. Persuasion, I think, actually is going to be useful as well, if I remember right, because I think that this goes for intimidation checks, which I think we're going to be looking at later. So maybe let's bump Persuasion. That might be what we want. So we'll do that one, and we'll do Perception as well. So we'll start focusing on that, and probably stay on athletics. And we have another point. Okay. Well, I guess we'll do these then. Okay. All right. Well, we do get a feat. Feat at level 3. Awesome. We will take the same feat. Did I just pass it? I did not. Feat at level 3. Shake it off. Choose spells. Oh, hey, Cure Light Wounds wouldn't be the worst. Shield, Stone Fist, Targeted Bomb. True Strike isn't the worst. Plus 20 to your hit roll. Enlarge makes us it increases our bonus to strength, but it also makes us easier to hit. Bomber's Eye. It's for throwing weapons. Expeditious Retreat is for movement. Fire Belly, what's this one? Fire resistance 5, and can breathe a 15-foot cone of flame that deals 1 to 4 points of fire damage. Each time you use this breath weapon, the remaining duration of the spell is reduced by 1 minute. Okay. Not super useful, I don't think. Stone Fist. Unarmed damage. We don't care about that. Targeting bomb admixture. When you throw bombs, they can only hit direct target. They do not splash. However, the bomb deals its base damage plus double your intelligence modifier, which is 0. You know what? Let's pick, for now, you know, True Strike is good for a fighter. I think we'll take that one, and I think we'll take Cure Light Wounds, and I think we will take Shield, potentially. Extra AC bonuses plus good is good too. So I think those may be what we want. Let's call those good. Okay, and that's that for him. Okay, Sela. We'll stick with the paladin path with her. She is working on knowledge. Religion probably would be good for her. And probably she could definitely use magic device. I don't know if we want to focus on that so much necessarily, but if we give her that, that's arcane spell scroll scribing during camping. Learn from spell books and scrolls. Identification found magical items. Brewing potions is knowledge world. We should probably pick that up for Valric if he's going to be doing potions. Okay. Okay. Athletics is pretty bad for her. She's got a lot of penalties from her armor though, so that's why. She doesn't need trickery or stealth. Let's do... she can have persuasion. You know, give her that just in case. I probably should be focusing on one thing, but I'm not really 100% sure. So, all right, she gets a feat. All right, this is the level we get feats. This is excellent. So she's also going to take the Shake It Off feat. She gets a mercy. I think we want versus fatigued. All right, that's it for her. And then we have Lan. Zen Archer. We have a reason to go away from that. He gets fast movement. He's going to pick up Key Strike. He's going to pick up Point Blank Master. Gets Point Blank Master feat, even if he doesn't qualify for it. Zen Archery uses Wisdom modifier instead of his Dexterity modifier on ranged attack rolls using a bow. I don't know if that's good or not, but I don't know what his Wisdom is. You know, let's just stay with this path. And let's have him be our... he definitely wants mobility because he needs to get away from people sometimes. And he's our athletics guy too. And then he could learn about something. Or we can just keep him on perception too. Having multiple people be able to notice things isn't bad. Okay, combat reflexes. No. Everybody's getting the Shake It Off feat. Although he is going to be back further, he may not benefit from it as much, but we'll see. Okay, Point Blank Master. He is going to take that with the longbow, because that's what he's using. What does this do for us? Do not provoke attacks of opportunity when firing selected weapon while threatened. Excellent. Use this ranged weapon while you're threatened provokes attacks. Normal using... Okay, gotcha. Usually you do. All right, good. Good. And it's everybody. We also have our new Woljif guy here, who has no armor. He has some bracers of armor +2. So that's good. He's got a pair of masterwork daggers. Okay. We have some things that we can wear. Amulet, natural armor +1. Actually, I want that to go here because he's still down armor class because he doesn't have a shield. Also, frontline fighters being harder to hit, always a good thing. That's good. He's a mage, so he can't wear armor probably. Yep. Okay, so he's got some magic missile. He can learn ear-piercing scream. Actually, he could scribe this. Copy to spellbook. Yeah, I think we want to do that. Scroll of mage armor. That's good. What else do we got for him that he could use potentially? He should have a potion and prayer. +1 bonus to attack rolls, weapon damage rolls, save skill checks, while each of your foes takes a -1 penalty on such rolls. This is 1 round per level. Yeah, let's have him have that. All right. And then let's have a look at his spell book real quick. Let's see what he's got. He's got mage armor. He's got color spray. He's got grease, which is a good spell, and burning hands. He doesn't have any level 2 spells yet. I think that's probably okay for now. We might switch these out later when we camp for more grease spells. Have a little crowd control maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. He's good for right now. All right, so there we are. That's everybody. And we are going to start heading here. Takes 1 hour. Okay, we got a fallen horse. Bloody carcass of the strong steed with a broken leg is covered in mangled armor. Saddlebag intact. You can procure some reagents for creating consumable items here. I don't know if that stays. I think it does. I'm not sure. We'll come back. I want to get up to here. Now we're probably going to have an encounter along the way here that we're going to have to fight. Maybe. Maybe not. Want to enter the location? Yes, we do. Okay, here we are in the Thiefling's hideout. Sister Charisme. The basement is dark and dank, and you are immediately struck by the hostility of the gathered tieflings. 5 of them are kneeling along the wall, separate from the rest. The tall woman, who had been cleaning her fingernails with the tip of her knife, greets you with narrowed eyes. Brother Woolchiff, you got my message then. Yeah, sorry I couldn't swing by sooner, dear Sister Charisme. It was just one thing after another. First I was in shackles, next... Well, no, I was still in shackles and was being watched, and the chief got me out, and I came here straight away. I knew you'd been waiting on me. Enough talking, or else we might be here all night. So we had a clear plan. We were going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, grab the goods, and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guard, there was time to get away. But what happened? That bitch Irabeth showed up almost right away. She knew we'd be there. Someone betrayed us, and I have a good idea of who it was. What do you have to say to that? Make it quick. Do you think Woolchiff knows the name of the traitor? Charisme turns to you. He speaks. I thought Woolchiff only brought you so he'd have someone to hide behind if things went south. Yes, he knows the name of the traitor. Every gang that Brother Woolchiff has been a part of has very quickly come to an end. Their hideout location was passed to the guards, or their competitors found out where they could ambush them. Woolchiff is the only one who always comes out of smelling of roses. If you think about it, you'll come to the same conclusion as us. I'd have said that meant that Woolchiff was cursed with finding friends among losers and screw-ups, but now that he's with us, that must mean the curse has been broken. That was Lan talking. Camelius says, that depends. He was indeed most fortunate to find himself in a party with me. On the other hand, he also ended up in a party with you. So we got a little bickering going back and forth. All right, Woolchiff, what happened? What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Charisme got 6 of us together in this very basement. Me and those 5 over there. I mean, Woolchiff jerks his head toward the 5 tieflings kneeling by the wall. She rounds us up and says we've got a score, and says ancient trees and wonders, the one place nobody's ever been able to hit, the place that's guarded by a golem. But now, a powerful scroll that would knock out the golem just happened to come into our possession, along with the tip-off that the shop owner would be gone on a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, and we know that any enchanted junk will sell for a pretty penny, so we were in. And the most important thing was that not one of us was to be hanging around the shop ahead of the job. No casing out the place, no calling attention to ourselves from either the golem or its master. This job was top secret. That's all true so far. Go on. We did everything right with the locks and the golem. I picked the lock. I remember it as clear as day. Sister Dalna was on the lookout. Brother Melrune and had the scroll. Doffy, Tavi, and Varnir brought the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack, and one right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under the table after it. The next thing I know, Erebeth was there. Everybody scampered, but I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me out by the tail and putting me in shackles. They took all my rings off me, about 20,000 worth. And to add insult to injury, I never even found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you, you poor thing, stripped you of your loot, and you didn't even manage to stash anything. Charisme is pointedly polishing her knife. Where's the moon of the abyss, Brother Woljif? Hey, now wait a second, what's that? Ah, it was an amulet. It used to sit in the little cushion in the window of the Ancient Trees and Wonders. Sterling silver, sparkled like a star, fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon, you know, a crescent, a waning moon. And in the middle there was a dark crystal, like it was eclipsing the moon. Old man Felaman, who was so proud of that amulet, he used to say, "I'll never sell it. It's the jewel of my collection." Woljif sighs unhappily. I used to go there to see what kinds of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at in Canabras. People used to claim it was a powerful thing. But who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have the guards on you the second you tried to fence it. Everybody knew that you were always hanging around Ancient Trees and Wonders, drooling over the moon of the abyss. Did you think you could swipe it in all the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope that we'd be blocked up and you'd get off scot-free with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woljif. I see right through you. Why would Erebeth arrest her own person? Took the words right out of my mouth. Doesn't make any sense. If I was the rat, I'd have kissed her on the hand and been long gone by now. You know me, sister. I'm a cautious fella, not an idiot. Why would I go against the family? So the fish in the Stellan could have a nice Woljif-sized dinner? The moon of the abyss is a pretty bauble, to be sure, but it's just an amulet. It ain't worth dying over. You knew Erebeth's people would protect you. You knew you could pin the moon going missing on them. And now you've come here with backup. You knew exactly what I was going to say to you. Only problem is, nobody's returned the amulet to Philemon. Are you giving Erebeth a cut? Is that it? Have you seen her? Do you think she'd take a cut of anything I offered her? She can't be bought. She's like 3 heralds of Iomedae all rolled into one. He speaks the truth, Sela says. You'll find some knights will take bribes, I'm sorry to say, but Erebeth Tirabade isn't one of them. All right, Woljif, go on. What you got? Well, that's the whole story. Woljif crosses his arms, looking affronted. Some family this turned out to be. It's just this name in the end. In a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. I didn't take the moon of the abyss. What am I going to do with it? You can't sell it to no crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, sure, but it ain't that pretty. If it's that important to you, Sister Charisme, I'll find it, and I'll drag the traitor here by his horns, just so's you don't end up on the bottom of the Stellan. But do you know what you're going to owe me for that? An apology, right here in front of everyone. You're going to apologize loud and clear so everyone hears it. You'll say, sorry, Woljif, you're a good guy and I was wrong about you. Fine, you're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woljif, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup, every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's come for you. You'll have no peace, but one day you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath, and that is when we'll get you. Got that? You've a way with words, Sister Charisme. A way it almost made me wet myself, but a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll go chat to the scary gal Erebeth. She knows you a little. We can ask her who ratted us out. I'll let you do the talking. Fine. Let's go find them. and I'll get my apology. Onward to Erebeth, Chief. Let's go clear my good name. Root out the traitor, but be quick about it. Time's running out. I don't want to get chewed up by demons. All right, guys. So that is going to take us back to Erebeth and the tavern. And I think that's going to be where we end the episode. You know what? I actually am going to stop it right here, because I don't want to get into a fight on the way there and have to run this long. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, do me a big favor, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.